Hello and welcome to the second edition of Around the Kitchen Table with Tullahoma's Entrepreneurs. As perhaps you know, each year as mayor, I introduce a different community initiative. Things like Go Green Tullahoma, Get Fit Tullahoma, the Arts Council, Sports Council. Well, this year I wanted to put my emphasis on entrepreneurism. You know, entrepreneurs are the group of people that create and they make things and they do things and they create jobs, and so it's just really important that I think that we support and encourage our entrepreneurs. They're the ones that find the niche in the market and they try to fill it, and in doing so they employ themselves, and sometimes over time some of these entrepreneurs scale and they grow their business. Sometimes they start on the kitchen table just like we have right here, and then they'll move to their garage, and then they move to a small office downtown, and then they hire someone, and it's just a great opportunity to support our entrepreneurs, and I actually want to celebrate our entrepreneurs, and I think it's also important that we use our local entrepreneurs and support them in any way that we can. So my name is Lane Curley. I'm the longtime part-time mayor of Tullahoma, and so welcome to Around the Kitchen Table with Tullahoma's Entrepreneurs. So today I'm very, very pleased to welcome Daniel Prince. Daniel is the owner of It Gets Fixed, relatively new business. I'm really excited to learn a little bit more about Daniel and what he does, and learn a little bit about your role as an entrepreneur. So Daniel, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, sure. So tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your business. And
well, we've been around since 2009. We located in Tullahoma as of last year. Yeah. And we're just really excited to be in Tullahoma. Yeah. My wife and I, we live in Tullahoma now, and Coffee County native. So really looking forward to being able to service our community. Yeah.
I remember a year or so ago, you reached out to me as the mayor, and you stopped by the mayor's office, and we had a nice visit. We wanted to, I think at that point you were still trying to make some decisions as to what you wanted to do, but we're so pleased that you're located in Tullahoma. And so earlier this week, I stopped by your office on East Carroll Street, and you took a little video. So we're going to watch that video now. And I just want you to tell us a little bit about what your company does and how you interact, okay, with your customers. So let's look over the screen here. So there you are on East Carroll Street.
Yeah, that's where Spry's Barbershop used to be, if anyone's familiar with that. We did all of the remodel ourselves on the building. Drywall's not that fun, but I'm pretty familiar with running our own data cables. We have very adequate equipment. We have the capability of working on software for 14 computers at one time. We work on cell phones, tablets, computers, and we also handle IT services for businesses. Our stretch goes all the way from, we have clients in Nashville, and we go all the way down to Tracy City. And we actually service Suwannee and Tracy City public utility districts. And handling their IT. And a lot of industrial manufacturers around the area. But
so what we're looking at now, we're actually seeing you working at a monitor. But so do people bring their computers to you, or do you go to them?
We do both.
Okay.
We actually we do business IT as our main source of income.
Okay.
But I purchased the retail location so that we could have a place to work to handle that business IT, but then for any downtime, we also offer services to the community. We wanted to be able to have a timely, professional, and affordable service to be able to provide those types of services for the community as well.
Right. Huh. So who are your customers?
So
not specifically, but just in general terms.
Right. So our customer is, the person that drops their cell phone and it's busted. The person who accidentally stepped on their iPad or sat on it in bed. The customers are the small business that has received ransomware attacks, or the elderly that have given into a scam on their computer, and they come and bring it to us, and we're able to assist them and, kind of guide them into, you need to call your bank and, get that sorted out. And we make sure that the virus isn't on their computer any longer. So it's not just constantly bombarding them with fake.
Sure. So, but you also go to businesses, right?
Yes,
so
we go to businesses.
What would you do there?
So we're also a managed service provider. We call it MSP in our industry. We do health monitoring on devices, computers, servers. We're able to actually monitor those 24/7, and we receive alerts, and it notifies us. We create a ticket, and we end up executing on that ticket. We do networking. That's going, in the ceilings of buildings, going under buildings, running network cable, making sure everything communicates together and everyone's able to work and make money.
Yeah.
Other things for businesses would be, we've done websites in the past. Just that. Yeah. That's about it for that. But.
So I know you've got a real interesting story that when you were 17 years old, tell our audience what you did when you were 17 years old.
So I built my first computer when I was 17. Some people may have built one before that, but I think it's pretty cool that I did it then. I actually had a high school teacher. Her name was Phyllis Peak, and she kind of paved my foundation for me to build upon, being able to learn that. So I would actually go to class out at the Central High School is where I went, and I had friends, and we would come up with a list of parts for me to actually purchase, and then I went home and I bought them, and then I put it together, and it worked, and then after that, got deeper and deeper, and here we are. Yeah.
So you're an entrepreneur. Absolutely. You own your own business. Walk us through a little bit about how you made that decision. It's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, it is. Originally, I was set up in my parents' spare bedroom, and I built my own desk, and I built my own workbench to work on computers. At first, it was just family, friends, just people that we knew. Started working on cell phones as an experiment. Turned out to be easy for me. Continued to grow. Then we ended up purchasing a building in Hillsboro, but the traffic's not that great out there. Now, I still own that place, but I wanted to get more traffic, and I felt there was a need for it here. And of course, we talked about, obtaining the special financing, and then that allowed it, to work for us. So there's a lot more traffic than what we're used to. We've been picking up sign customers daily since we've got our sign up. So
now in my introduction, I talked about entrepreneurs fill a niche in the market.
Right.
So you felt as though there was an opening for someone like yourself to provide the services. Is that how you made your decision? Did you study the market a little bit?
A little bit. A lot of it is, there's some people that already do this here that already shows a need. We had thought about going to Manchester, but of course, again, it goes back to that special financing that we're able to get through the city, and that made a great decision. And I mean, it's on a place. It's at a location where it's still convenient for those customers that we did accumulate in Hillsboro to still get to, and then those that are from Manchester and surrounding areas to still get into, because they don't have to go all the way into Tullahoma. We're just on the outskirts on East Carroll. So it just still makes it convenient for everyone.
Yeah, sure. So your background obviously is of help to you in running your business. Can you think of an example of how even putting together your first computer at 17 has helped you in your business now?
Yes. I mean, everything, not a lot's changed. I mean, things have gotten faster, things have gotten smaller. I mean, we basically have a full-fledged computer from 10, 15 years ago that's in my pocket right now that can do anything it could have done back then.
Right. I've noticed your logo on numerous occasions. It almost, but that's not a franchise, is it?
No.
No.
No. And a lot of people actually think it is.
Because it's really a nice looking logo.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Do what if you could had 100 people out here in the audience? What would you want them to know about your business that you think they might not know about your business?
Well, I kind of already iterated on it. We're professionals, and we handle business IT as our bread and butter. 70% of my business comes from business IT.
Okay.
If we can handle that, imagine what we can do for walk-in customers.
Sure.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So
you want people to know that you're a broad line, but that you do specialize in certain things.
yes, security, computer repair, of course. Just we have a wide spectrum.
Yeah.
It's broad what all we do. We've even put up security cameras in businesses, security cameras in people's homes, and the such.
Wow. So what is your slogan?
So we don't have a slogan.
Okay.
So the slogan's built into the name. It gets fixed.
Okay.
So we felt that was good enough.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a play on IT gets fixed. So even if a business sees it, they go, "Oh, IT gets fixed."
Yeah.
And for those people that don't know what IT means, it's information technology.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just think, "Oh, call the IT guy."
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So what does that slogan mean to you?
So it means you can use it in a sentence.
Yeah.
We'll make sure it gets fixed.
It's fixed. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So what some people might not realize as an entrepreneur, you made some sacrifices to get started in your business. And again, without being personal or anything, but describe for our audience what sacrifices you made and are still making perhaps.
Well, early on, I didn't make as many sacrifices. I started it with as least amount of risk as I could. So, like I said, starting out in my parents' spare bedroom, going all through college, I won a business plan competition at MTSU, used that money to start our bank account, and the risk, though, it's grown. I'm having to take more risk, but as I've grown with that risk, I've come accustomed to it. It's almost like we're in a parallel. So, taking on debt is kind of scary, but when it looks like it's profitable for us. So.
Good. So what is your greatest challenge now? And how are you overcoming that challenge?
Well, as far as with security, the greatest challenge is there's viruses and there's ransomware that is getting so hard to get rid of. It's constantly changing every day because these people want your information, or they want your files, or they want your business's files, especially with ransomware. We've had customers that are completely crippled their business from ransomware. And that's where they just take and encrypt files, and then they demand payment in cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. And either you give in or you wait until someone like the FBI finally catches that person, and then they squeeze the key out of them to unlock all of that. And we've seen it happen. Now, as far as, what was the question again?
Well, we were just talking about, let me ask a follow-up question.
Yeah.
You said, who are these people? Now, who are we talking about?
Oh, they're people from different countries. They can be from Russia, Nigeria. A lot of times in Africa, they'll just be huddled up in like a small internet cafe, and they're there, and that's what they do. That's how they make their money. There's no ramifications for them doing bad, but it's like having a tunnel straight to us, and they can escape.
Yeah, and you're saying the FBI or somebody is out trying to stop that, of course. Well, trying to find it.
Yeah, but for the international, you're pretty much lost. But if it's happening here, they can. There's a way to trace it back usually.
So so let's shift gears a little bit, Daniel. So as an entrepreneur, what's your typical work week like?
Long.
Yeah.
Pretty long.
And I suspect that's fairly typical.
Sometimes it feels like it's longer than 7 days, but I'm constantly having to be engaged with my business and growing my business.
Sure.
Thinking about my customers. There's times where I have to work on weekends that are unplanned. There's times when the customer calls me on my cell phone saying, "Hey, we're leaking money," and I have to go, put a plug in it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you're available to your customers, perhaps not 24/7, or maybe you are 24/7. I don't know. But as an entrepreneur, you need to be responsive to your customers. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have to be held accountable for everything that we do. I mean, yeah.
So let's take the opposite of that. If you're not receptive to your customers, what happens?
Well, you end up going out of business eventually.
Sure. Right.
It might be a long road, and I mean, you might have to try and patch things up, but I know that, you know, if you take enough hits, it can really hurt.
Yeah. You know, my point is that, you know, folks that maybe don't understand the role of an entrepreneur, Daniel, I mean, we're out there on the front lines, you know, oftentimes, and you've got to be receptive and responsive to your customers on an on-demand basis sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. But there's got to be some upsides to being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get to name your hours. That goes back to what I said. So sometimes you don't get to name your hours. Sometimes you're at the mercy. Right. But upsides, you're in control. You get to make the decisions. You have to wear. The biggest thing is it's not boring. I mean, I come into work. I do the accounting. I remodeled the place. You know, there's repairs. I'm the handyman. I'm the accountant. I'm the IT guy. I'm the maid. You know.
Sure.
That's just how it has to be for us.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
I know. We have to be jacks of all trades.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit earlier about the loan and so forth. So there are some risk involved in being an entrepreneur. Talk to our audience a little bit about, again, not anything personal, but what kind of risk that you took to get started.
So I also will be specific to, you know, the expansion into Tullahoma, but, you know, I took on a little extra money so that I could remodel that building.
Sure.
That building's been there since, I believe, 1964. So, I mean, it needed some repairs, and I mean, we redid the outside, the inside. It used to have wall units or window units, but they were wall units. They were in the drywall. We removed those, and you used to have to walk through the bathroom to go to the back room. Now we can go there without disturbing anyone.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So it's an excellent location. Can you tell from your location that's helped your business? I know compared to Hillsborough, you said it had.
Yeah.
But just being on a main drag like that?
We're going from about 800 cars, the impressions, on the Hillsborough Highway to about 18,000.
Yeah, sure.
So it's a substantial increase.
Right. So I realize every day is different. I understand that. But just tell us what a typical day like for you is.
I wake up, do my
You've got an addition to your family.
Yeah. We had a baby, May 23rd. It's been great being a father. I mean, he's something that I look forward to every day, seeing him. Yeah. And you know, I think about my business, and hopefully either he'll be an engineer or he'll be an IT guy. My wife's a civil engineer at Jacobs here. Maybe he'll be an IT guy. I don't know. But either way, he'll be something.
Yeah. So, but you're constantly thinking about your work, I'm sure, and your customers, and how can you evolve your business? Because I'm sure over the years, you've probably transitioned your business, right?
Yes.
You've had to pivot a time or two.
Yes,
tell us about that.
Well, originally, when I was first starting the business, I got into making business cards for people and doing doing a little design work, and like the logo. I designed our logo, but that just played off some skills I learned early on, and having to pivot. I mean, sometimes something doesn't work and you have to try something different. You have to look at what your customers want. And I mean, sometimes a business will pop up and I'll question it. And I'll be like, did they actually think about, you know, starting this? Because sometimes the market just doesn't it doesn't work for it. Now, if you go up to, you know, say Nashville, it works just because there's enough people
Sure.
for that one niche thing to work. But
Right. But there's also more competition in Nashville,
oh, that's
too.
true too.
Right.
Oh, of course,
So you've
of
got to
course,
find a balance
yes. And
there.
I mean, Tullahoma is growing.
Yeah.
I know that
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
So you, as an entrepreneur, you're always looking for opportunities, I'm sure.
oh yes.
Always got your eyes open, thinking, listening to customers, and
Yeah, and it can, for me, because my background's in entrepreneurship, it extends more than just my IT business, because I have like storage units as well, and I've had my hands in other things too, but you know, I just look for opportunity all around.
Yeah.
Not just for this business.
Sure. And it's important that people that are thinking about being an entrepreneur, that you know, they, in my view, they can't go in just thinking, well, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 years, and whatever.
No, it might not be.
Exactly right. Even, you know, even if things are bad, and then you got to shift gears. But even if things are good, sometimes that good is not going to last forever either.
No. And we were taught that when I was in college too. You either grow, maintain, or harvest. So if you're growing, then, I mean, you're just trying to grow and grow and grow and get bigger and bigger and expand. If you're maintaining, you're just as susceptible to your competition, because if you're not being innovative and trying to grow and trying to market, then that gives grounds for someone else to come in.
Yeah. So this is an interesting question. What inspires you to get up and go to work every day?
Well, my wife and kid do quite a bit. But as far as work itself, every day is different. Every time I go there, there's a different problem. And that's why I really enjoy the industry I'm in. I could be handling, you know, something for a business that I end up saving the day for them. I mean, they could be losing tens of thousands of dollars every hour, and then I come in, I feel like Superman when I walk out a little bit, but you know, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's got to be very fulfilling.
It is, it is. That's definitely one of the nicer perks too of being a business owner.
Yeah. So Daniel, you're in an industry that changes perhaps a little bit every day. Yeah. And I'm sure the industry has changed a lot since you put together that first computer.
Yeah.
So how has the past 10 years, say, in your industry changed? I know you talked earlier about, you know, you can put your computer in your pocket, but your industry's changed in other ways too, I'm sure.
Correct. As far as security for businesses, it's gotten a lot scarier. There's things that need to be put in place to, you know, lessen their risk as far as, you know, being connected, especially with like cloud technologies. Being able to have remote access. I mean, there's all sorts of things. I mean, some people don't even have to go to an office anymore. They just log in, work, and you know, they're right there in their bedroom. They go to bed when they're done.
Right.
Or, but as far as computers, I mean, when I was putting that computer together, Windows XP was around. Now, Windows 10 and stuff, it doesn't look much different. You know, I mean, cosmetically, but as far as function, it's pretty much the same stuff. But things have gotten faster. We're going to continue to see equipment get faster, capacity, like of hard drives, storage, grow, because we're all constantly consuming entertainment, using data, storing pictures, and you know, the higher the quality gets, the bigger the storage we're going to have for that. But I do think eventually we're going to hit a ceiling where, you know, it's just going to kind of peak, and then, I mean, our eyes can only see so good, you know, the 8K TV, 4K TV. Eventually we're going to max out, you know, how good we see compared to a screen.
Sure.
So that's what I see in the future.
So, you know, in some ways you've described yourself as a consultant in a way to me. You go into a business and you look and see what the issues are, and then you recommend solutions. Is that sort of the way you see it?
We can do sort of an audit, like on a business. We go in, we're able to run tools, and then they report back to us exactly the measures that we need to take to make the network secure. And there's a lot more technical things that could drop out there.
Right.
But
So let's talk about entrepreneurism for just a minute as we close out here in a few minutes. But what advice would you give if someone came to you and said, I'm thinking about starting a business? What advice would you give someone?
Give it a lot of thought, and then, I mean, make sure that you're in a situation that will allow you to feasibly do it. I'm very lucky that I have a wife that's able to, she allows me, what she does every day allows me to do what I do every day. And I'm very lucky to be able to do that, but not everyone has the same case. But just make sure that, you know, you have a support system in place too that's able to handle something like that, because not everybody can do, you know, the entrepreneur thing.
Sure, yeah. So, do you? Is there someone that you know that you admire as an entrepreneur? Someone that you sort of track or watch, or even outside of being an entrepreneur?
Well, as far as entrepreneurs, I like Elon Musk.
Yeah,
he's pretty much the closest thing to Iron Man. So that's real.
Yeah. That's a fascinating story too.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I've read a little bit about him over the years, and he's sort of dabbles in a lot of things. But yeah. Well, Daniel, I appreciate very much you taking the time to be with us today and sharing a little bit about your story as an entrepreneur, and some of the challenges and the opportunities that you have, and just the way that you conduct your business, you know, and reaching out to customers. You know, that's important. Not everybody, I don't think, understands that. So, you know, we're around the kitchen table right now, and if there's anyone out there that's considering entrepreneurs or to be an entrepreneur in our area, we'd love to visit with you, talk with you. That'll be fine. And there's plenty of opportunities, and look forward to seeing you around the kitchen table at our next meeting. Thank you.